Welcome back to the Bluechip Breakdown, Vols fans. I'm your host, Bull. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the film of four-star defensive line commit Ethan Utley, 6'3.5", 265 pounds from Ensworth High School in Nashville, Tennessee. We had to get this guy, big-time in-state prospect, especially because I have him projected to play defensive tackle. We need a lot of those moving forward. We're deep right now, but in 2025 and 26 is looking a little thin, so he may get a good opportunity to play early. And we had to fight off Texas and Michigan right there down the home stretch to win Ethan Utley's services. So he's a player that everyone in the entire country wanted, including the University of Georgia, which is where his mom played college basketball at. So staff is doing a great job of identifying talent early on and just keeping that pressure on him, man. Letting them know, hey, we value you more than anyone else does, and we're going to develop you better than anyone else does. So this is going to be a fun one. We're going to break down his film, and we're going to talk about, hey, is he a four-star? Is he better or is he worse? So stay tuned. Let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so on the first play, we got Ethan at about a 5 technique. So you can see how versatile he is already. Now, pay attention to the way he sets this up to the outside, comes back to the inside quickly, and he makes that tackle look silly. Now, for him to be such a big guy, you can tell he's bigger than the tackle that's blocking him, but he's a lot more athletic. This is why this staff covers him, especially Coach G. We love athletic defensive linemen, especially whenever they're bigger. Now, right here, we're seeing Ethan Utley. It looks like he's spying. That's very interesting to see, but you have to love his closing speed once he decides to engage with the quarterback. Boom, finds an opening, finds a crease, comes to the inside. The quarterback tries to flush out to the outside, but Ethan's able to make a play and force a fumble. So that's really, really big. Now, on this play, it looks like Ethan's got some double team attention, maybe even triple team attention, but he continues to fight through. Watch him as he sets things up. Boom. Okay, beautiful job of bending. Okay, we always talk about players that can bend. That can mean a couple of things. Can you bend, low? Can you drop your butt low? But at the same time, you could talk about it. Can you bend those corners? And he does a really good job of that. We see those defensive linemen going through those hoop drills, and this right here, boom, that's what it's for. You can stick your foot in the dirt and you can get to that quarterback. Now, we're going to watch it one more time because there's one more thing that I want to point out. Look at the way that he is attacking. I don't know if that's a running back or who or what that is, but look at the way that he's just kind of throwing him off balance with one arm. Boom, pushes him back. And now he's able to come back and re-engage with the tackle. He just shows that strength. So he's got a great combination of size, speed, strength, and athleticism already in just the first couple of clips. You had to love what you're seeing from Ethan Utley. Looks like he's lined up at about a 3 technique right there. So he can play inside or outside like we talked about. But on this play, he's able to, boom, just kind of, oh, well, he actually did something different than I had initially thought. Let's see it again. Okay, so he knocks a guy out of the way. So bull rush, okay, we've seen him be able to win with speed and just by setting his blockers or, the opposing team's blockers up with some finesse moves as well. Let's see him. Looks like here he's playing on the outside at about a 5, maybe even a 4 technique. Beautiful job. Okay, so we just talked about finesse moves. He's able to use the swim move. Boom, bang. You have to love how quickly he gets off the ball. And there's still going to be some things for him to clean up, right? Because obviously him just being a high school player, he's going to have a lot of room to improve once he gets up on campus. But seeing the way that he's able to make plays already is very, very encouraging. And right here, he's lined up at, looks like a 7 or like a wide 9. Very, very nice burst off of the football. And again, he bends that corner. Well, it looks like he had 3 people trying to block him. But his pursuit to the quarterback is absolutely relentless. And that's one of the plays that he actually ended up breaking down. We'll talk about it a little bit more towards the end. But here, lining up at a nose tackle, great jump off of the ball. Watch this, boom. I mean, just beats the daggum center off of the ball. That is extremely impressive. To be able to do that at any level means so much. But for a player that's this big to be doing that, okay, with this type of size, that's moving this quick inside of a phone booth, he's going to have a field day on any level. I love what I'm seeing from his film so far. Very impressive. Now, on this one, here he is. Okay, so playing at about a 4 technique. And I mean, he's just relentless. He's just very, very difficult to stop for these high school players. And it's easy to see why. He plays with great fundamentals, beautiful leverage. You see the way that he's able to set this hole up right here. Let's go back some, okay, because this is important. A lot of times with defensive tackles, people are talking about pass rush and things like that, or just making stops in the backfield. But a lot of times what they have to do is keep those offensive linemen from getting to the second level where our linebackers are. And what you're seeing right here, on this play is Ethan Utley. Boom. Okay, he's able to set up the blockers, okay, and maintain his gap. Now, look, he's got full extension, okay, on this guard or on this tackle at this point, and he's able to literally hold him at bay while he's deciding, hey, should I come over here? Okay, like is the play coming here? Is the play coming to this gap, or is it coming right behind him? He's making sure that he's got all of his gaps covered, and really, he's probably not even supposed to be covering all of these gaps, but really good job of doing this. And then what we'll see is as soon as he identifies where the football's at, boom, disengage, make a play in the backfield. I'm telling y'all, he's special, okay? He's very, very special. He's gonna fit into our defensive scheme beautifully, but we're gonna go ahead and get through the rest of this film. I think I've seen enough. If I'm a college coach, yes, we're sending him an offer right now. He's that good. Now, you have to love, again, how athletic he is. Lines up on the inside, comes back to the outside, nice swim move, gets his hands up, okay? His awareness, his football IQ is really, really good. Here he is lined up at about a 4. Oh man, I mean, I love his burst off the ball. I love how twitchy he is for a bigger guy. He's probably gonna get up to somewhere around 290 pounds. I think that may be his best playing weight. He could get even bigger than that, but he will be able to maintain the same twitchiness and maybe even gain some because of our strength program. And on this play, what we're seeing, boom, boom, string it out. Beautiful job. And you have to love what you're seeing from him on this play. You can tell that he's been studying film. Now, he's not necessarily the contain guy. This player is right here, but at the same time, a player like this that studies film on such a high level and, you know, understands, hey, we've got to maintain leverage. And I know where the play is coming to. He beats the running back to the spot. He beats the blockers to the spot. And I mean, you know, again, doing it at this size is what is so impressive about it. So loving all that. Let's continue on with the film. Looks like he's playing at about a 5 technique here. So, you know, I'm just kind of pointing that out for y'all just to show that he can play anywhere on this defensive line and he can do it at a really high level. Boom. Okay. Gets great penetration into the backfield. And look, boom. Okay. Look at how far he pushes this offensive lineman back. This is pretty much ridiculous. He's pushing back 4 or 5 yards and, you know, again, maintains outside leverage. He's able to get off and he's able to make a play. All right, now we've got him at the top of the screen and boom, okay, strings it out. Look at the way that he's able to, he's got so much strength. Okay, so he's got quick twitch fibers. He's also got some of those slower twitch fibers, which is usually, you know, more strength fibers. And I mean, just the way that he's able to, boom, explode off of people and he tackles with some bad intentions. And he has really good fundamentals too. Pretty much everything that he does, really good fundamentals. Now, watch this, okay? The explosion off the football, how quickly he's able to get there. And I mean, watch him break down. Right here, boom, okay, he breaks down because this is, you know, some sort of an option play, right? You've got some sort of a jet motion or something that is not gonna cross his face. He's gonna make sure that that's one of the keys and fundamentals to football at any level. And now he sees, okay, so the ball's coming here. Now I'm just gonna, boom, attack here. So he's ready to move at this point in either direction. That is just so impressive for a player, okay, at this level. I know I keep on saying that, but y'all, I am blown away to see a player that's in high school, you know, at this level that is playing. This is like college level stuff that we're seeing him do. So, I mean, this is beautiful to see if you are a Tennessee fan. Now, at this point, he is just maintaining his pass rush lanes, right? So it looks like he's got one person blocking him currently, and then, you know, there's a couple of more people dedicated to him, but he sees where the play is and watch his motor, watch his range as far as how much ground he can cover. All right. So he sees that the quarterback's scrambling out to his right and he covers all that ground and he's able to fend past other blockers and things like that. So, I mean, just a very, very versatile athlete. And here in open field, you're seeing, again, he's going to hit you with some bad intentions and he's a big man. So once he, you know, puts that weight on you, the ball's been popping out. I think he's forced 3 or 4 fumbles already. But what you love is the fact that he maintains excellent leverage doing all this stuff. So it's very impressive to watch. Boom. Okay. Oh, okay. That's a little bit new. So haven't seen him do this yet. Usually he is, you know, throwing players off and coming back to the outside. But on this one, he's going to disengage and come back to the inside just because, you know, he sees that the play is going to the inside. So that goes to show, hey, he can disengage and get to either spot, whether it's inside or outside. And I really like seeing that because sometimes players get stuck going to the same side over and over and over again. Now here, we're seeing more closing speed. We're seeing him out in the open field again. So he's a player that I don't necessarily like dropping defensive tackles into coverage, but if we, felt like we needed to at some point, you might bring it out once or twice in a season, maybe like in a playoff game situation. He's a guy that on down the line, maybe he could do it because he's such a versatile player. This is really impressive to watch. Now, let's see at this one at the top of the screen. Boom, gets that hand down. All right, so he understands, right? He understands that this is, a 3, 4, 5 step drop. So he's counting inside of his head as the ball is snapped, and he knows when to get his hand up. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect, and it's on time. So again, those types of things happen whenever you study film and you understand the game of football. And, doing that from the interior of the defensive line is going to be so important because you don't usually get that. And I think that that's kind of like what I'm gushing over, maybe more so than anything, is that you're seeing on all these plays, especially after listening to him speak. Now I'm able to get into his mind and I'm saying, okay, this is what he sees here. And it makes it that much more impressive because players like this don't come along very often. Usually, whenever you get to this point of understanding football, okay, on this level, especially as a interior defensive lineman, that usually doesn't come until, about college time. Usually guys that are, juniors or upperclassmen in college. So I am impressed with everything that I've seen from his film so far. And I mean, there's absolutely no doubt that he's exactly what we wanted on Rocky Top. All right, now for Ethan Utley's grades, starting off with athleticism. I love his burst off of the football. That's where it always starts. But we're seeing him make people miss out in the open field. So he changes directions very well for a bigger player. And he looks really good closing out on plays in the open field as well. I love what I'm seeing from him as an athlete, especially considering he's probably going to be playing on the interior of our defensive line. I'm going to give him 4 stars right here as an athlete. Now on to toughness and physicality. We're seeing him consistently beating double teams and using his strength and power to get through blockers on every single level. And whenever he does arrive, he arrives with bad intentions. Another part of toughness and physicality is the motor factor. And he's got a very, very high one. I love what I'm seeing from him in this aspect, and I'm gonna give him 5 stars on toughness and physicality. Now for run stopping, he does a great job here, okay? Whether he's playing at any technique along that defensive line, he's able to plug up gaps and he's able to get penetration. Doesn't matter if he's getting 1 blocker, which is always gonna be a really big problem, or if it's 2 or 3, it does not matter. He's throwing people around with force and he understands what to do, which I think means the most. I'm gonna give him 5 stars in this category as well. Now on to pass rushing. We don't see a ton of this on his film, but you can tell just from the plays that we can see it, that he can get after that passer, especially from the interior of the defensive line. He looks really fast coming off of the football. He's got, advanced moves. We're seeing swim moves. We're seeing him set blockers up to the outside, to the inside. It really doesn't matter. I'm gonna give him 5 stars in this category as well. All right, so just to recap, we gave Ethan Utley 4 stars as an athlete, 5 stars on toughness and physicality, 5 stars as a run stopper, and 5 stars as a pass rusher, which brings his blue chip overall grade to a 4-star, but it's a higher level 4-star. And this is exactly where I think Ethan Utley should be, outside of the fact that he really is going to produce a lot more like a 5-star just because of the way that his skill set works. And also, I would say because of his mentality, his mindset, the way that he approaches the game of football. I think that he's going to be very, very productive anywhere he plays on that line. Now, we talked a lot about him playing at tackle because that's a big position of need for us, but he's going to be similar to like a David Hodges, where he can play inside or outside at that strong side defensive end in different packages and situations. And I think that adding him to a defensive line with some great pass rushers moving forward is going to be big. But at the same time, if we can get some more defensive tackle depth and we can continue to rotate in like we expect to do this season, he's going to be extremely productive whenever he gets his opportunities. And even though I have him as a 4-star, 4-star for me is a little bit different than what you'll see on other websites, I still have him projected to potentially be a 1st-round player just because I think that he's that special. There's a lot of things that he can do that I'm just not seeing other defensive linemen do. But for the sake of the way that our grading scale has worked since we started off doing these videos, he has to be at a 4-star just because I don't see him being that extreme high caliber level of athlete that we'll see from some of the other defensive linemen, especially in this class, that will also be playing at defensive tackle. But again, I think that Ethan Utley is going to outperform them from a production standpoint. So that's it for this video. And thank y'all as always for staying all the way to the end. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends, family, and other volunteer fans. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Peace.